The ag committees are pushing hard to get a new farm bill done this year, but what's the reality? It gets passed and they will find the extra dollars to provide needed updates to farm programs. Farm Journal's Michelle Rook talked to members of the Senate Ag Committee to find out.
At a Farm Bill listening session held here in South Dakota, Senate Ag Committee members expressed confidence that they can get the Farm Bill done yet in 2024, and they want to put more farm back in the Farm Bill. Ranking Member John Bozeman told attendees House Ag Committee Chair G.T. Thompson will release the chairman's mark in early May and has resolved the controversial SNAP changes.
What we'd like for him to do is go ahead. We want him to go first, and then the minority side in the Senate, what we will do is come out with a framework very shortly after that. We've pretty much got that done. The idea is just to get a farm bill done this year. We need a major restructuring now because of inflation, because of the fact for the last 2 years we've had the greatest drop in farm income in the last 100 years.
That's why he and Senator John Hoeven co-sponsored the Farmer Act to make crop insurance more affordable.
And what we want to do is change crop insurance a little bit where it helps everyone more, but also is more accessible to some of the regions of the country where they're not able to use it as successfully.
The crop insurance industry supports the bill because it will replace disaster programs.
What we would like to see is getting away from all the ad hoc disaster money that's been out. There's been about $65 billion that's gone out for ad hoc disaster that really didn't help a lot of our producers.
Senate Ag Committee member John Thune says they also need to put more farm back in the Farm Bill.
The nutrition title, for example, the climate issues, that's become a big priority for a lot of particularly Democrats on the Ag Committee and more generally in the Senate. So when we say that, what we're talking about is those parts of the Farm Bill that focus on production agriculture.
Beyond preserving crop insurance, the Soybean Association is pushing for an increase in the reference price, which is at only $8.40 per bushel.
Yeah, reference prices at this time are just well below what they should be. As we've seen back when we had trade wars and whatnot, and we saw a significant decrease in the price of soybeans, we never triggered a loss in terms of those reference prices.
Corn growers echo that, plus want updated base acres.
Those base acres are based off data from what our grandpas used to plant. And now that the Corn Belt has moved west and north, we need those to, reflect of what's actually being planted out there.
While this will cost more money, the senators are pushing for the needed changes.
I think that there's more likely to get something done on reference prices. I mean, that's expensive too. If we went to updating mandatory base acres, I think you would get actually savings that you could apply, but it's also incredibly controversial.
Livestock and dairy producers also want enhancements in insurance products to reflect the state of their industry.
The DMC is at 5 million pounds. We definitely would like to see that increase. That's 250 cows, 300 cow dairy. The average dairy herd in South Dakota is 1,500 cows.
Bozeman says only $300 million of the $1.5 trillion bill goes to Production Ag. 80% goes to nutrition, so they must find extra funding, perhaps in the CCC.
I think that's a viable option. A lot of money's being spent in the CCC, a lot of money left over.
Farm Bureau officials agree the farm economy has changed since 2018, making it urgent to pass the bill before it's embroiled in politics.
We need to get it done now because there's so many other things coming along, like the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act expiration that's going to happen in 2025. That's going to be a big issue politically, and we don't want to have so many big things going on at one time.
Plus, he says this is a food bill, and food security is national security. I'm Michelle Rook for U.S. Farm Report.
Thanks, Michelle. Well, all of the Washington insiders that we've spoken to expect the process to continue to be slow as there's still debate over how the committees will find additional funding. Well, when we come back, new tariffs on China, and it's not being proposed by Trump. This time, it's President Biden. Ag Around the World is next.